Super, we've got sound and we've got vision.
Great. Right. That to settle, and then I'll talk to them and get what we need.
Thanks, buddy. We'll see you. Later.
I can hold the brake.
Thank you. Goodwood information, Golf Kilo Charlie Yankee Lima, request radio check and taxi for circuits 2POB.
Golf Charlie Kilo Yankee Lima, good information, very good afternoon to you again. Eureka 35, taxi to the holding point runway 24, right hand circuit, correction, QFE 1006.
Runway 24, right hand circuit QFE 1006, Golf Yankee Lima. Okay.
Yep, you've got controls.
Controls, you right if I taxi off?
Yep. All clear behind.
Goodwood information, Golf Delta running a Golf Lima 2 on board. There's good information and taxi local flight to the southwest, followed by some circuit.
Golf Delta Romeo Golf Lima, good information.
You can go, yeah, you can go hard right.
Eureka 35, taxi your discretion to holding point runway 24, right hand circuit, QNH 1010.
Thank you, taxi 24, right hand circuit, QNH 1010, Golf Lima. Golf Foxtrot, Golf Final 24.
Golf Foxtrot Golf runway 24, land at your discretion, 210, 8 knots.
Golf Foxtrot Golf.
I think they need to send the mower out.
Yep. Had a bit of warmth, a bit of rain. Well on final.
We still only got one strobe light, so I don't know if you want the lights on or off.
I've put the lights on. That's on. The essential problem is that we need to show we're live, and the tower might say that your strobe or your master beacon's not on. Got golf.
Golf Yankee Romeo leaving the door.
Thank you, Romeo, roger, report changing frequency.
Local Golf Yankee Romeo.
So it's convenient to use the run-up area here.
Okay, right. Run-up's area this side of the board, isn't it?
If you turn hard right, we get a right-hand turn, which is generally, if you've got a right-hand circuit, you do a right-hand turn.
Okay.
It's a habit that's lost now, but it always used to be before radios, what everyone did. And that gives you a chance to look at the circuit while you're turning around, and this is fine into wind.
Goodwood information, Golf Papa Sierra Foxtrot Golf. Where's the best place to leave it? I think Justin will be flying it again in a few moments.
Okay, right.
If you come round in front of the tower, you can park next to the silver.
Into wind, yes. Parking brake set,
Okay,
yes. 2000 yes. Hatch, harness secure. Your hatch and harness secure?
Hatch closed, harness secure.
Good. Right, no loose items on my side. Okay for loose items?
Everything's tidy here?
Yep, right, so we set 1006. That's good. Nothing to our left, nothing to our right. Clear. Right, throttle 4000 RPM.
Okay. Mag 1. Okay. Mag 2. Okay. Both mag checked. Temperatures, pressure in the green. Yellow for oil temperature, white for water temperature. We have fuel. All good. Idle check.
Thanks for this good information. Good afternoon to you. Have your details. Pass your message.
Goodwood, Pegasus formation of 2 Chinooks requesting join from the east.
Pegasus, we're on 2-4 right-hand circuit for the fixed wing. Would you like to position inbound from the east for a 4 mile straight in for 2-4?
Pegasus, yes please, that would be preferable.
Well, there's currently no other reported traffic. Reports 4 miles to run for a straight in. You can expect to operate in the VOR field for your handling.
Idle check, good.
The QFE is 1006.
That's a 1006 set.
Transponder to altitude, which you've done.
For runway 24. It'll just be for a single approach as a pair, then depart off to the northwest.
Yeah, we can do all of that, sir. No problem at all.
Trim 1 unit up.
Many thanks.
Trim 1 unit up. Flaps, right, okay. You want 1 stage of flap for takeoff or no flap?
1 stage.
Okay. And BRS safety pin remove. Did he say Chinooks?
Yeah, I believe they come in to refuel here.
Careful of them. Okay.
I think they're quite busy with Ukraine, so they don't really have much choice about refueling and where.
Right, do you want me to go to the hold for the runway? Okay.
All clear right behind. So you've logged the traffic on long final. I didn't hear anything else.
I didn't hear anything else. I can't see anything.
Pegasus is on a 2 mile final for runway 24.
Pegasus, roger. Runway 24, land at your discretion. Surface wind is 210 degrees at 9 knots.
So land at our discretion, runway 24, Pegasus.
Yep, let's get off 28 just in case they make a mistake. There he is in front of us.
Yeah, so they're coming in quite fast, aren't they? That's what they're trained to do.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 of them. Nice one. Goodwood would be very happy.
Do you want me to hold short, give them the downwash on them?
No, keep going. They know where we are, what hazards are.
I wasn't worried about hitting them, I was worried about the downwash from the rotors.
Yeah, keep going, because he's now getting close. Prince Andrew managed to flip one of our aircraft over by flying over the top.
Very, very soft, isn't it?
Yeah.
Golf Yankee Lima ready for departure.
Yankee Lima, I think it's probably a good idea if you just hold position for a minute.
Wilco, Golf Yankee Lima.
Now,
That'll be the wake.
well, their prop wash is that way, isn't it? So
No, it'll be down.
yeah, their downwash will be going in that direction because the prevailing wind's from there. So we're, in my mind, we're upwind of it by now. But anyway.
Departure to the northwest.
Pegasus, thank you, sir. QNH is
Well, they're still blocking the runway.
Present position.
Are they on the runway?
They're hovering over the centre, where the cross point.
Oh, I didn't see that.
No, neither did I.
Okay, depart present position, many thanks, taxi.
They're just turning to go. You should just be able, if you look, you should just be able to see them following forwards.
Okay, right. I didn't realise that. It's their call. We say we're ready, they just say hold. As in ATC's call. Once they said take off.
Lima, initially report lining up runway 24, please.
Wilco, Golf Yankee Lima.
Yeah, basically he's saying report lining up, so you can line up and then say lined up. A lot of people say lining up before they're on the runway, which is technically wrong, but lots of people do it. A form of running brake. I thought they were going to refuel. I got that wrong then. They're training, aren't they? That's
Start on the runway, those two black and white cones.
Yeah, that's fine. So you can start your roll before the runway starts. That's okay. Understood.
Lined up, Golf Yankee Lima.
Lima, Roger, just stand by. There'll be a short delay, and it'll be to potentially to avoid potential rotor downwash.
Understood, Golf Yankee Lima.
Just disappearing behind the trees over there now.
You see, I'm looking for signs of downwash on the grass. There's nothing, yeah? Sorry to be... I'm a little bit... Okay, fine. But
look at the windsock.
Yankee Lima, runway 24, take off at your discretion. The wind 210 degrees, 10 knots. As I say, just caution that potential rotor downwash from those two machines.
Take off at my discretion, Golf Yankee Lima.
yeah, it's taking off is the call. That's fine.
Goodwood, Golf.
You all good?
Yeah, that's lovely.
Right, let's get going.
Sorry, last station second.
Golf Lima, ready for departure.
Golf Lima, Roger, initially report lined up, runway 24.
Okay, Golf Lima.
Lovely. And you've got the crosswind correction.
Two remaining in the circuit with that traffic inside 240.
Straight away, super.
210 degrees, 9 knots.
Okay, we're now above the helicopters.
Okay, turnabout now for 30 degrees.
Just hold on just a bit. They say that's at the upwind end of the runway. Now you can turn. I'm being picky. Don't worry. I've got the solar panels. And you've got the wind correction angle, so that's just right. Engines pulling really well. Temperature and pressures are great.
Pegasus, got nothing further for you, so suggest a call to your route frequency. Many thanks for that. Have a good one.
Good information, it's Bravo Whiskey X-Ray Bravo at Faulkner to rejoin.
Bravo Whiskey X-Ray Bravo, good information.
So my
it's runway 24 right hand.
My granddaughter's riding school's just there.
Okay.
So you know there's horses. They don't have any problems with microlights.
42 in the circuit.
Roger that.
Turnabout now?
Yes, you can start an early turn. Nothing behind us and right, all clear ahead.
Where should I be turning over?
You could, basically they say climb to 1200, but if you make the turn early, it makes for a better circuit. So as you are now, and as you get good, you can make the turn and level off. So you've got the level you want now. You can make the turn, but take your time. As I say, lots of practice.
Probably Roger, basic service, 2 operating in the local area.
And you can now see the runways.
Thank you, Golf Sierra Charlie is 3 miles to the south, rejoin please.
Golf Alpha Zulu Sierra Charlie, give it information, Roger, 24 right hand circuit, QFE 1006. We've got a Firefly positioning crosswind and there's a C42 in the circuit.
Yes, copy, 24 right hand circuit, 1006, we'll join crosswind to Golf Sierra Charlie.
Roger, you're looking out for a Firefly.
God, those Chinook pilots having a riot, aren't they? Hooligans. Very nicely parallel with the runway, and keep your reference point out there to the left of the racecourse.
I remember watching them over. I was sitting at the cafe at Amberley watching them do an attack simulation on a bridge in the river.
They're getting all the funding they need to do the training. It must be a joy, because generally speaking, they don't get enough hours just to say current, but they're not actually fighting fit. And of course, that's what they're doing now. And we've got this tiny air force, and tiny army. It's really just a token, not the people, but the size is just so small. A lot of German stuff's not operational, as in unserviceable. Anyway,
Okay, nothing there. Let's give it a turn.
yeah, I was going to say, I've got a 45-degree point, so if you turn now, nothing behind us. The Firefly's going to catch us up. He'll extend
Report downwind.
So they've gone crosswind. I'm looking out for the Firefly on crosswinds. I've got him, okay? He's 1200, we're 1200.
Thank you, Lima. Report final, runway 24. I believe there's no reported traffic ahead.
Bugger, I forgot to call downwind. Sorry, I shouldn't swear on your audio. I forgot to call downwind, didn't I?
That's okay. We'll call final, Golf Yankee Lima.
And actually laid downwind, is it, Yankee Lima?
We've just turned base. Give us for not making the call.
No problem at all. Report final. Excellent. C42 has just turned onto base. Report final number 2.
Okay, so lower the nose for the speed this time. Top and white arc's fine with the flat there. The poor old Firefly's got to extend.
X-ray Bravo's downwind land.
So Bravo, Roger, 1C42 ahead of you on base leg. Report final 24.
X-ray Bravo. Golf Sierra Charlie is crosswind for a full stop 24.
Sierra Charlie, Roger. You visual with the Firefly, just turned downwind.
I've got one late downwind turning right base. Golf Sierra Charlie.
Okay, that yellow Firefly is your traffic. Give me a call on final. Currently number 3.
Number 3, visual with the Firefly. Golf Sierra Charlie.
Golf Yankee Lima, final 24.
Thank you, thank you. 24, touch and go at your discretion. Surface wind 210 degrees, 9 and knots.
Touch and go 24, Golf Yankee Lima. Nice one, you're on the upwind side of the runway. Just stay there, that's a good place to be. Ever so easy to make corrections now if you go between the extended centre line and the left-hand beacon. That's it, just there. And then it's just this to keep that. So you've got the objective, just show me that. I should be delighted. One on the downwind and the other one must be somewhere behind us. Yeah, this is good. I like it. I think your last trip was a good one, and this one is now showing. Early days. Brunger there on the tee. So if you're fully committed, you've got full flat. Down she goes with the flap. Flap set. I've got the flat. Full power.
Golf Sierra Charlie's right base visual with the Firefly.
X-ray Bravo 24, landing at your discretion, surfacing 210 degrees, 10 knots.
X-ray Bravo.
Yeah, Charlie just becoming number 1 before final.
Lovely. So the Firefly was close. Well done, sir. He'll have been impressed with your approach.
I was trying to keep the speed a bit high for them, but there's not a lot you can do in this.
And also, with full flap, with a slight bit of wind from the left, it's a harder manoeuvre to land. But you,
X-ray Bravo, welcome back, vacate left, taxi pumps or school.
you sorted out everything as you should do.
Back to parking, we're complete for the day, Tim.
Thanks a lot, Josh. You have a good one.
To vacated.
Sierra Charlie with greens, runway 24, land at your discretion, surfacing 210 degrees, 10 knots.
Land, who's the green? Golf Sierra Charlie.
Even with the duct tape on, we're still not generating much heat in the engine, are we?
I know. I've got carb heat, cabin heat. I can give a bit of that if you like.
Oh, I'm fine. It's just an observation on the engine, actually.
I think the engine running must be disconcerting for some of the pilots. I know I'm thinking to myself, because if you get to the end of the runway and you can't get the power, you've got to reject the takeoff. Of course, you've got to have enough sufficient runway ahead to do that. Now this is the compromise, of course. If you land deep and then take off, it then takes you further away from the aerodrome. So the reference points change, but I'll let you sort all of that out. All clear right behind.
Sierra Charlie, welcome back, vacate left.
Okay, left, Sierra Charlie, thanks.
Where would you like to go now?
Golf Yankee Lima downwind.
Yankee Lima, thanks. No reported traffic ahead. Report final, runway 24.
Report final, Golf Yankee Lima.
Right, so brakes are off, undercarriage is down, mixture is good, we don't need pitch, we have plenty of fuel, the fuel pump is on, our instruments are good, temperature good, carb heat is on, my hatch and harness secure, your hatch and harness secure.
Hatch closed, harness secure.
Landing checks complete.
Sierra Charlie, do you want some fuel?
Quite lively up here, isn't it?
Yeah. A lot of people wanted to get flying, and we've had a late start. The members meeting got in the way. The weather, the wet. Loads of people need check rides and refresher flying.
For me, I just don't understand it. Why stop?
Yeah, it's difficult to get to negotiate the winter months at Goodwood.
Well, I've managed.
Yes, students often do, but once they've got the license, they don't. One way or another, got to earn the money to pay for the flying, and that makes you a busy person invariably. Okay, we've got the circuit to ourselves. That's rather nice. There are lots of places here. You've got all the Goodwood estate. If the engine should misbehave, you could land on the cricket pitch. Those are on the approach. There are lots of fields which are car parks.
Yeah, watch those. They've got fences in them.
And they've got sheep. Yes, I was going to say. You look at the statistics. A lot of airline pilots in C-42s have gone into difficulty being blown around. Rude. Don't.
A little bit too far over.
Yes. So if you turn early, when you've got a wind from the left, of course, it's harder to regain your position. But you just make a larger wind correction angle, and then you're soon corrected.
Golf Yankee Lima, final for touch and go.
Golf Yankee Lima, runway 24, touch and go, your discretion. The wind 180 degrees 8 knots.
Just increase the power.
Going for them.
That's it. Thank you. And yes, we'll do power against drag, and then if the engine stops, we will be short, but given the circumstances, I'd rather have the engine running smoothly. Backing's nice, position's nice. Good. Lovely. Okay. Set the flaps. You have the power. Flaps set, go.
Sorry, I stopped the turn to avoid flying through a pair of birds that were mobbing something else. Still only doing 4,800 full throttle.
Really? Now that was commented on. Was that yourself? Because
Yes, we had this conversation last time. It doesn't do 5,000 RPM anymore.
I relayed to Rich the low running settings, but I didn't relay to him the 4800 setting. What I said to the engineer Matt is you need to do the flight test. I'm not so sure he does that so much. Because then you know how it's set up with them. Because the pilots are picky, you know, they this, that and the other, they go on, and the engineers get the task. One pilot says one thing, one another. But at the end of the day, the engineers will know better, as the engineers get experience, they will know better than the pilot how to set the aircraft up. So they have a more robust approach.
base is coming down slowly, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's looking over to our left.
There's a TAF on Sure, if you'd like to turn right, and then we can discuss what's ahead of us. Bit of Virga, the TAF is a bit of cloud. I'm watching that. I'm not expecting a problem, but it is worthwhile. You've got the orographic lift on the downs, which will give you localized cloud and maybe some showers.
Okay, so
Golf Yankee Lima downwind.
Yankee Lima, there's no reported traffic ahead of port final 24.
Port final, Golf Yankee Lima.
right, brakes okay, undercarriage is fine, mixture and pitch are good because don't have them, fuel pump is on, which is good. Instruments, temperatures
India north of Bognor for rejoin.
Alpha X-ray Juliet India, good information, roger. 24 right hand circuit, QFE 1006.
Runway 24 with a right hand circuit, QFE 1006. Golf Alpha X-ray Juliet India.
Juliet India, there's one in the circuit, how will you be joining?
If we can see him, actually no, we're going to join in the overhead, Golf Juliet India.
Juliet India, will report overhead.
Okay, Golf Juliet India.
Your harness and hatch secure?
Golf Delta Romeo.
Harness hatch secure.
2.5 miles to the southwest, 1,500 feet for rejoin.
Dr. Rebecca, Golf Lima, good information, roger. 24 right hand circuit.
Very nice. You're correcting for drift, and we're tracking parallel with the runway.
Golf Lima, I've got one positioning for overhead join, there's one in the circuit, how will you be joining?
Golf Lima, probably join crosswind, I think, 24 right.
Roger.
A little bit of Virga at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
To the right looks better. The airfield, you can see the sunlight and the rapeseed reflection. So if you leave the flap setting late and power down on the base,
Yep.
and then you can get your height and angle perspective, and then when you turn on to final, well, before turning final you can take one stage of flap, but I'm just thinking about getting you fast and forward in this sector, mainly because if we're fitting with SEP it'll be good for them. If you select the flap as you're taught at the very beginning of the base leg, then of course you're limited by the white arc speeds.
Yeah, so Jack teaches one stage of flap, Roger taught two as he'd come onto base leg.
Yeah, so it should be one stage, and then when you're fully committed, you take full flap. And the reason for that is if the engine stops, you don't want full flap when the engine stops.
Yep, no, that makes sense.
But that's the me speaking. If the particular instructors ask you to do something, don't frustrate him by doing something different. Do what he says, but you've got three to choose, which adds to your load, I'm afraid. Not unheard of though. It's the RAF, they swap instructors all the time. So now you can, to your heart's content, use flap and power and angles. You've got a...
So I've got one just turning onto final approach, the other one hasn't yet called me overhead.
Golf Lima, Roger. Golf Juliet India is visual with the aircraft joining from southwest, over Chichester, we'll join behind them.
Juliet India, thank you. In that case, report downwind.
Wilco, Golf Juliet India.
Golf Yankee Lima, runway 24, taxi at your discretion. Surface wind is 190 degrees, 11 knots.
Golf Yankee Lima, port final.
Yankee Lima, excellent, taxi at your discretion, runway 24, surface wind 190 degrees, 12 knots.
Touch and go at my discretion, Golf Yankee Lima.
That's it, lower the nose and just fly at the top of the white arc for the moment. Just lower the nose. Reduce power.
Goodwood information, good afternoon. Golf Sierra Hotel Alpha Zulu on the ground at Lavin House
and then as you were, you have the power choice, that's it.
4 3 seconds from Lavin House, returning back.
Thanks, Golf Sierra Hotel, absolutely good information. Hello to you, David, and I've got your readability 5. I've just got one that's positioned overhead to go crosswind. There's a cup crosswind, and also a C42 just touching down remaining in the circuit for 24. The QNH is 1010, the QFE 1006.
Oh. Okay, increase power. I'm going to set the flap set, go.
Yeah, no problem at all. I'll advise you of any traffic. Give me a call ready to lift.
Golf Lima Lake, crosswind turning downwind.
Golf Lima Roger, you just come number 1, report final 24.
Whoa, we're in a thermal there, haven't we?
And it'll absolutely just for me, is this just a couple of circuits of Latham House and then to the local area, or is it a couple of circuits to land?
Just a bit of heat on the runway.
House, then into local area, followed by
The engine cut went on the runway.
Yeah, no problem at all.
The light came on.
Yeah, the light came on. It didn't actually stop, did it? You didn't have to use a starter.
No, I didn't. I just increased the throttle.
Yeah. Yeah, so the procedure is to press the starter and make sure you're throttled back when you do that.
Do you think you've got the cup ahead of you, report downwind?
Sure, the cup okay. Go
But-
to the India.
So the wind from the left is strengthening slightly. The windsock can go horizontal, which means it's over 10 knots.
Okay.
But notice you didn't land deep that time, and that's a better place to be.
Yeah.
And then given gusts and so on, you know, you're gonna you need the extra runway on a day like today.
Absolutely, please all the aircraft start to climb out. Turning departure, Latham House now.
Delta absolutely, watch the wind at Goodwood 210 degrees, 4 knots.
Golf absolutely.
Little bit of cloud at 1200. Keep the turn going. Okay, one aircraft turning final. Downwind cleared. Nothing joining downwind that we can see.
No, although the cloud is coming down still.
Yeah, Golf absolutely. Just to confirm, we're tracking with the aircraft on crosswind. We are well clear, better behind him and slightly right.
Delta absolutely, Roger.
Just letting go back into Latham House again now.
I can't see anything.
Golf Lima 5, 24, touching.
Golf Lima 24,
I'll make a call.
210 degrees, 4 knots.
Golf Yankee turning downwind.
Sorry, is that Juliet India?
Golf Yankee Lima.
Yankee Lima, Roger, report final, exactly number 3, looking out for the cup ahead of you.
Report final, Golf Yankee Lima. That's touch and go.
Roger.
I didn't understand the crosswind bits conversation, but anyway, no one around. Well, I can see.
They're 2 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So, 1.5 mile final, and the one you return at 2 o'clock. Now that must be the one that they were talking about. He mentioned crosswind. I didn't understand that.
Okay, sorry. Brakes are okay, undercarriage is down, mixture is good.
India, Roger, one just going over the numbers for a touch and go. I'll come back to you in a moment.
Your harness and hatch secure?
Harness hatch secure.
Right, downwind check's complete.
Juliet India.
Juliet India, runway 24, touch gauge, discretion, wind 210 degrees, 11 knots.
He's called him our final.
Juliet India.
Just over the airfield boundary.
Yep. A little bit to the right, so right of the Tangmere, the greenhouse.
Okay, yep.
Add a little power to get rid of the wobble. Yeah, leave it there. I think basically we're having to manage a situation where when you're throttled back, the engine's running rough. I wouldn't say rough, but unevenly.
Yeah, it just creates a vibration and unsettles everything.
Yeah, that's essentially because it's not getting better in that condition. Something's out of
Alpha Zulu ready to left for 1 full circuit, 11 Alpha again.
out of kilter with the fuel-air mixture, which could mean fouling of the plugs.
Yeah, visual with
Little
one on
bit-
the
yeah, let's
timeout,
keep
so we're just
right.
going to route behind if that's okay.
Yeah, no problem at all. The wind at Goodwood, 220 degrees, 11 knots.
Alpha Zulu.
1 knots, okay. That's it. If you point right at, there's a building on the coast there. If you point right at that,
Yep.
we're tending to track away from the airfield. Lots of people do this. Usually it's because they want more time, as in more time on the approach, which is no problem today with nobody in the circuit.
Yep.
But if we had other traffic, they get frustrated.
And helicopter absolutely traffic for you as a C-42. It's on final approach for 24 now for a touch and go.
Golf Alpha Zulu. Looking, but we're just going to track the aircraft just passing over us now.
Roger.
Golf Yankee Lima.
Final, for touch and go.
Lima, runway 24, touch and go, your discretion. The wind 210 degrees, 11 knots.
Touch and go, my discretion, Golf Yankee Lima.
So this is a perfect approach, setting power, everything's there, you just wait and see. So you're stable, trimmed, power set, nice power setting 2829. And you've just got to accept that the engine stops now, you're going to have to land in the field or the runway, because there's engine wobble. Otherwise you'd be
Goodwood Golf Lima down, wind.
be banking the height and then closing the throttle
Golf Lima, right there,
late.
report final 24. There's a C-42 ahead of you on final approach.
Golf Lima, okay.
That's it, power
We are
against
visual then.
drag.
Is that the only other traffic in the circuit?
Golf Lima, you've also got the Beagle Pup behind you.
Yeah, okay, I'm looking, cannot see them at the moment, but looking.
Juliet India, do you have the cabin sight?
Golf Juliet India, we're behind you, downwind.
Thank you.
Golf Alpha Zulu is 400 feet descending back into 11th house.
Helicopter Absolute, roger. Wind check at Goodwood, 200 degrees, 11 knots.
Golf Alpha Zulu.
Lap set and go.
And Golf Lima is visual with the Beagle Pup.
Golf Lima, roger. Report final, year number 1.
Okay.
I have control.
You have control.
So we've been using full flap on the approach, even though there's a wind from the
Yeah.
left. That's a harder task, and that's why I've been setting the flap for you. If you were landing with a bit of wind from the left, I would encourage you just to use one stage of flap.
Okay.
But for the exercise, it seems to be good practice to get you well versed in having full flap. And as you can see, you've got to manage the in the hold-off you've got to decide when you're going to land and use a little bit of right rudder to bring the aircraft round. There is a tendency sometimes to actually bank right, but the answer is when you put the right rudder on, just to use the left aileron.
Yep.
And that means that wing's kept down so that you're not actually landing. You're landing on both wheels, it's fine, but just driving you to the risk.
Yep.
So anything, just make sure when you use that right rudder, you use a little bit of opposite aileron, which is crossing the controls. You have control?
I have control.
Julia India final 244, so. Golf Golf Lima 24 touch.
I'm going to suggest one touch and go and then we'll stop.
Runway 24, land or touch and go your discretion, 20012.
Golf Golf Lima.
Juliet India, one ahead, I'll call you back.
Roger that. Papa Zulu on the ground, 11 house, ready for a low level circuit here when it's convenient with your traffic. Visual with the aircraft off crosswind.
Alpha Zulu, we've got cub on touch and go on runway 24 at the moment.
Is the cub yet to touch or is it in the go phase?
It's just about to touch down, has touched down now.
Okay, I think we've got space ahead of it and we'll stay low level, Golf Papa Zulu.
Alpha Zulu, wind at Goodwood 20012.
Golf Papa Zulu.
Golf Juliet India, runway 24, land or touch and go your discretion, 20012.
Landing 24. You spoke very slowly, Jan, thank you.
Perhaps I was waiting for the other one to get off the ground.
The Cub's just turned onto westerly heading. The other traffic where he is.
Golf Yankee Lima downwind.
Yankee Lima, report final. You're now number 1.
Report final, Yankee Lima.
So there's no traffic in front of us, so that's fine.
Goodwood Golf Lima. Could you just tell me the position or estimated position of the aircraft doing the low level circuit?
Golf Lima, that's a helicopter from 11th House.
Okay, understood, thanks.
Golf Alpha Zulu, we're visual the aircraft on climb out and we're just descending back into 11th house, 500 feet and going down.
So the other aircraft should,
thank you, we are visual.
you should use heli in the call sign, and that would tell us what's going on.
Is your harness and hatch secure?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Same as before, no flap till final?
Yeah, we'll do, yeah, you can do a flapless on the base, and then do one stage of flap, just to see what it's like.
Okay.
You're going to find it much easier in the hold-off without the, without full flap. But of course you'll have to amend your approach to allow you to come in at a shallower approach angle. Need to add some power now. You can fly above the White Arc now.
Yeah, it's just the vibration is quite different, isn't it?
Yeah. And you need to track right. So there's a tower on the horizon.
Yeah,
by the
it's
coast.
block of flats.
That's it. So point the nose right of the block of flats, and then monitor your track.
Goodwood Golf Lima downwind 24 right hand touch go.
Golf Lima, report final, 1 ahead.
Golf Lima 1.
So this would be good for a flapless approach, but we're going to apply some flap.
Taxi to hangar.
Goodbye to Sierra Foxtrot Golf, taxi to hangar.
Thank you.
A lot of vibration.
Just add the power and lower the nose. That's it, hold it there, that's fine. And wait. And then just reduce power. When the vibration's above 3,000, isn't it? That's disconcerting.
That's 2.8.
So back to 2.9.
Report finding Yankee Lima.
Yankee Lima, are you on final?
Golf Yankee Lima, report final. On final.
Golf Yankee Lima, runway 24. Touch and go your discretion, 20011.
Touch and go my discretion, Golf Yankee Lima.
Add some power. That's it. I just don't want to be left with a situation where we haven't got margin.
No, it's...
Yeah, that's fine. That's really nice. That's good. Just accept the lumpiness now. Okay, full power and go. So it's actually accentuated, isn't it, with the first stage of flap. So on the landing we'll do...
The helicopter on the ground is having enough. Ready for one more circuit and then a departure after the circuit if that's agreeable.
Helicopter Alpha Zulu. We've just got one on the climb out, C42, and one other seems to be on base currently.
Look for traffic, Golf Alpha Zulu.
They're trying to be kind to us by saying C42.
Golf Alpha Zulu, we're visual the one on climb out. We will depart after him, keeping him in sight.
Oh Jesus, just said slow.
That's right, they mean there's one slow climbing out.
Golf Lima, runway 24.
And there's me saying I'd like to hear heli, because I want to hear where the helicopters are. Bit of Virgo over there on the left.
Yeah.
And that'll contribute to the lift and the instability. And this one, just go all the way up to 1200 and then turn right. Okay. We're back on yourself. After we've done the debrief and looked at the recordings, I'll call Rich with you there, and then we'll describe the engine settings to him. He's most probably exasperated. I spoke to Ben, who's got many hours experience with different C-42s, and he says yes, they do have problems with the running of the rotaxis. I think if as an owner aircraft you see little or none of this, but as a club aircraft you see lots. So before we turn right, just raise the right wing and turn to the right.
India, taxi to the school. Thank you.
That gives me 100% lookout. The lookout before is adequate, but I just prefer to develop with you a habit of lifting the wing before we turn. So, lifting the wing before we turn to the right. Bear right, turn right. I keep the turn going. Now looking at the runway and allowing a little bit for drifts, we want to be pointing a bit to the right. Not that yellow field, but the dark green mounds, I would suggest as a point. I'll let you make the call.
Golf Yankee Lima, downwind.
Golf Yankee Lima, report final.
Report final, Golf Yankee Lima.
This will be downwind to land.
Yankee Lima, roger.
Sorry, brakes. Okay. Brake is off, undercarriage is down, mixture is good, pitch good, fuel pump is on, instruments are good, temperatures are good, carb heat is on, my harness is secure, my hatch is secure. Your harness and hatch secured?
Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's like you're on a piece of string.
Well, mine's in the door pocket, so I can't see it.
Yeah, this is a good place to be. Generally speaking, the instructor gets to see the race course looking down there. You most probably don't get the same view.
Golf Alpha Zulu on the ground for final departure from Lavin House and then into the local area for agreeable.
Alpha Zulu, Roger. Nothing known to affect at present, I think.
Golf Alpha Zulu departing.
I could write it down, that might help. So, we've got max 800. We've got wobble 3000. And RT, okay. Okay, that's nice. So for this one, I won't ask you to do right of the tower because we're a nice compact circuit. Just bring back the power to 3000 now that we know that's where it seems to settle. And then if you like, take the one stage of flap early. Leave it there, that's fine.
Good information, Golf Delta Mike Charlie Sierra.
Golf Delta Mike Charlie Sierra, good information, good afternoon. Party message.
Outside of the helicopter, taxi to maintenance.
Charlie Sierra, taxi maintenance.
Oh, Golf Lima downwind, 24.
Golf Lima, report final.
Copy, double.
And the call will be final, and when they give you land at your discretion, you say landing to.
Good Yankee Lima, final for full stop.
Golf Yankee Lima, runway 24, land at your discretion, 20010.
20010, Yankee Lima.
I was landing 24, but don't worry.
Zulu, just in the local area now to the west, request basic service.
Helicopter Alpha Zulu, basic service, no other reported local traffic. QNH 1010.
1010, copy, Golf Alpha Zulu.
Reduce power nearer to the 3000s. That's it. Fine. Yep. I'd wait to see what happens. Okay, so we're fully committed now. That's fine. That's it. Use the rudder for directional control.
Golf Lima, finals contact 1.
Cool, come in, runway's occupied.
Okay, start. That's fine. I have control.
You have control.
Golf Lima, runway 24.
Okay, you have control.
Under your discretion.
I have control.
2010.
Golf Lima.
Shall we put 20 litres in for the next guy? Or just head back?
I don't mind, either, up to you.
I head back.
Let's clean the aeroplane up first.
Yeah, sure, of course. We should have about 25-30 litres there anyway.
Trim 1 unit up. Flaps up. Come off. Transponder standby. BRS safety pin installed.
Golf Yankee Lima, request taxi spotter.
Yankee Lima, taxi spotter.
Golf Lima, be landing off this one.
Golf Lima, final.
Golf Lima, runway 24. Land at your discretion. The wind 20011.
Yeah, so you got 40 knots. 40. That's what's that? 2/3 of the crosswind component. So your crosswind landings can be signed off.
It's funny, it didn't really feel like crosswind.
No, but it's a gradual thing. It started off at 10 and 220, and then it got to 240, and it's that 45 degrees that's the one to watch. It doesn't sound like much, but in terms of the components, I think it's hard. And when you get to 6 degrees, as you know, it's 86%. I'm clipping.
You are, yes.
Golf Lima, taxi pump.
Most probably maintenance, isn't he, being over there?
Don't know. Go this way if they're pulling that back this way.
Yeah.
Got it parked, so the wind's that way, isn't it?
I was going to say you can point in this direction. Just, by the left hanging door.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. The Tico is okay, isn't it? It's in the air. What could it be?
Parking brake set. 1000 RPM. USB ethers off. Probe